I relocated the shock mounts, the upper shock mounts. Instead of using the factory 2 right here, which I was using this one right here in the front, I moved it back here, giving it a different angle, trying something different with it. Just drilled through the little body panel right there. Still has OH35A01 Jeep tires. It still has 3 tires of articulation. So it's fine as far as the articulation in the front, and in the rear I'll show my modification in a minute. Still has 3 tires of articulation in the rear. All 4 tires are touching. So the rear is a little different because the tube chassis, there's not really anywhere in this area. Oh, let me get it on camera. Nowhere here other than tubes, just the cage to make mounts. You can see the original mounts behind the shock. I can actually pop that off real quick. The original mounts were right there, 3 little spots. So what I did was take and cut a couple of pieces off of this carbon fiber. Let me get this shock back on. Well, I'll go ahead and show it this way. That put it up and basically right in between these 2 holes. I'll go straight on with it so you can see. That gives it a slight angle difference. Try and hold the camera and put this back on. And they're just super glued in there. It'll work. But that lowered it, I don't know, probably 1/8 of an inch, maybe a little more. I don't know exact. It lowered it significantly though. You can honestly, by looking at older pictures or videos of it, if you look underneath at the suspension links, they were at more of an angle like this. So now they're, yeah. And I bash across the stuff on my desk, the tool pile and the junk over there, and it goes all over it without the board here, and if I get down in there, that's just a big hole, so it'll just fall in that. But everything else, it just bounces across it. It does a slow crawl okay. It's definitely not a Furatech Lizard slow crawl, but it works fine. When it lowered, when I repositioned those shocks in the front, my little brass piece that I made for the top servo plate, which barely adds any weight to it, this side right here was hidden. You can see, crap, always off camera. This side, come on now. This side of the servo back here, this corner, because of the angle that I have my front axle, it was hitting the cage. That brass piece was. It was hitting the tubing, and without that there, it gives me just a micro amount of space that keeps it from hitting still. So that worked out fine when I took it off. So I went ahead and put my bull bar, bash bar, whatever you want to call it, on there. My son thinks that the bash bar is a problem on the rocks outside. I don't think so. I think it was other things causing issues, which I can understand. It will get hung up on things because it's I mean, it's all the way at the bottom. It's as low as the center part of the axle, just a hair lower. My camera gets that, but you can barely see the axle through there. But yeah, I don't know, it just kind of looks better sitting lower. 32 Ford Vicky, one of my dad's favorite old cars. It just ironically fit on this chassis, so with or without the body, looks really cool. Gamyrc Baby Fat Girl chassis, 90mm, and it has so much weight to it now. The only place I'm having difficulty figuring out where to put weight is the rear axle. I really don't want to go inside the tires with the weight like I did on the front. Nice thick brass pipe fitting things. I was wanting to figure out a way to get brass on this rear axle, so the only way I think I'm going to be able to do that is this brass bar, which is, I hope I don't piss anybody off with this, but it's a cheap Taiwanese brass fan that I picked up at a thrift store for just a few dollars. Whoop-de-doo, right? I cut a couple of the bars off of it, and well, if I can figure out a way to attach it, and I've had that brass fan for a long time. If a door gets slammed, falls on the floor, yeah, it's horrible. My kids are like that. I like to slam doors sometimes, so nothing on the walls. But that's my next idea, is trying to figure out how to get this. I did hammer it a little flatter because they're not. This is another one. I've cut two off. They're not squared. They're not flat. So I don't feel like flattening this out any further right now. I hammered it. Anyway, yeah, I gotta figure out where to put that. Where to put some more weight back here. Going on the hubs could work, and it would be a good idea to put brass on the hubs. I just don't have any brass that fits it. That would give, I have lots of space in there still. So, figuring out where to put it. I really like those shocks moved, all of them. I really like all four of the shock positions. Lots of articulation for as small as this thing is. The weight of this is actually as heavy as my 125 scale Orange Bronco, with all these speakers and stuff in it, and the Bluetooth system. Yeah, all the aluminum. This thing is actually, I think it's a little lighter than this. It's crazy. It weighs double. This weighs double what my tow truck weighs. Not even joking. This weighs twice as much as this tow truck. That's double the size of it. It's crazy. That's a lot of brass on there. And some of it, you know, the front wheel weights inside the tires, that's hidden weight. You just don't even see it. But all this other little bitty pieces here and there really did it. And the little 9mm wheel nut weights, that seems to be like that was a really good idea too, other than they look gaudy and tacky sticking out like that. Kind of cool, but still tacky. You know, oh well, do what you do. I'm gonna enjoy it. If I hand the remote over to my son, I'm sure he'll bash the crap out of it. He's I don't know. He's scared to drive his Toyota Tundra. He keeps saying he doesn't want to break it, and I can't blame him. It's the only hobby grade RC he's ever had that, yeah, the kid's broke. He's the reason I have so much crap. He's broke probably $2,000 worth of RC stuff and model stuff, and yeah, you can't give a little kid stuff like that. The little Walmart special RCs last him about a week at the most. He's given me boxes full of stuff to tinker with, and that's what I enjoy. So I think he does it on purpose sometimes, but that's what, kids, gotta love them. But yeah, back to it. I'm still braining on this thing. It is sometimes some brain pain, but so far so badass. And it climbs an angle like I did not expect. That incline board I made, it amazes me how the traction and then the torque of still lifting this front tire with all that weight. And there's not really any more weight I could add to the front to hold that tire down. It has torque. It has torque. So I hope you guys enjoy watching my videos. I appreciate the comments. I appreciate the thumbs ups. So could use some more subscribers. I've gained 20 subscribers in the last few months, I guess, maybe more. I mean, I'm not getting paid for this, but one little step at a time, it does help. I don't care. I enjoy it. It's not about the money for me, really. The hobby is what I love. But I'm out of money for hobby stuff, so it would be nice to get paid. So anyway, thanks everybody for watching. I hope you guys like this, and future builds, they're everywhere. This desk is covered, and I have others in boxes all over the place. Stuff I've started and not went back to. Anyway, thanks for watching.